A feature of this era is how often we use the words unprecedented to describe on a daily basis the depravities, the actions of our political and power class in the United States. We live in unprecedented times. And what unprecedented means is simply this. There are things that are happening routinely that have never, ever happened before in the entire history of the country at a moment where the entirety of the country, as is the case with the whole of the world, is connected together. There is a feature of this age that is truly unprecedented. It is that any one of us, out of 330 million of us, can, with their phone, talk to all of us at any moment, on any day, in any given second. In fact, you can talk to nearly every person on the earth. We are all inextricably connected by the rapidity of scientific advancement and the unleashing of scientific knowledge. The question that this raises is, will American democracy be able to survive it? Because alongside with this ability to communicate with everyone instantaneously came along a perfectly designed demagogue who craved power, was hostile to liberty and the Constitution, and did something that no other American has ever done. I'm talking about, of course, Donald Trump. And what he did was swear the 35-word oath that was prescribed in the American Constitution and taken by George Washington, and then desecrate it. Donald Trump became the president that the founders feared and worried about and predicted. He is the unprincipled man that kept them awake at night. Donald Trump has brought the United States into a deep, deep crisis of faithlessness and hopelessness and anger because of his unprecedented actions. Let's talk about what they were. The United States is an idea built on ideals. It is a country that ruptured history with its Declaration of Independence and its assertion that the rights of human beings did not flow through the divine rights of kings, but from a creator who made all of us equal. All men, it says in our Declaration of Independence, and thankfully today we understand this as all men and women are created equal, endowed by a creator with inalienable rights, among them life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. After independence was won through a bloody war, a constitution was written that counted blacks as 3/5 of a person. That constitution was amended over time as human beings came to realize the indignities and inequities suffered by fellow human beings on the basis of their race or their ethnicity. And human progress dictated that that was wrong. But the progress was possible because of the system of government that made it possible. Government of the people, by the people, for the people. What every American leader has always understood is that in America, a land with no king or emperor, dukes or counts or lordships, that it is the people who are sovereign. And it is the people who choose who gets political power. The people, not the powerful. The United States is a country that was formed on the basis of a rejection of tyranny. And that's why, since 1797 until January 6, 2021, every single leader of the nation has appreciated, has understood, and has accepted the will of the American people, including, painfully, when there were close elections. Richard Nixon conceded to John Kennedy in 1960 with serious questions about the integrity of the Illinois ballot. In 2000, Al Gore conceded to George W. Bush on the basis of a Supreme Court decision that Sandra Day O'Connor came to deeply regret. Each American who found themselves worthy enough to be nominated by their party, to be considered for the presidency, has understood the deep moral obligation to submit to the will of the people, except for one. And because of that, our entire American civilization hangs in the balance. He broke faith with the foundation of the country. The American system demands that it is the people who apportion it, not the leader or the strong who can take it. Power in America is not derived through the power of a mob, but rather the dignity and sanctity of the rule of law, in democratic tradition and norms. And so, as we enter the Christmas season of 2023, we stand at the edge of a new year. And it will be a year like 1968. Chaotic, momentous. There will be moments in the year ahead where it feels like everything is coming apart. It will be the most momentous, the most chaotic, and the most troubled year of the Trump era. There will be violence, and there will be lies. There will be hopelessness, and there will be panic. There will be days where it seems like Donald Trump may be inevitable and unstoppable. A corrupt Trump industrial complex filled with democracy grifters will try to cash in. A broken news media will try to monetize the ratings. Every scammer, every interest group, every plotting member of Congress has skin in the game. But no one has more skin in the game than the American people. Every American who cares about the liberty of their fellow countrymen. Every American who appreciates fairness, human rights, and the innate dignity of the human being has something that they deeply share in common heading into 2024. It doesn't matter if they're black or white or Hispanic or Asian, man or woman, gay or straight. All that matters is that they understand that they share together Americanism. They are American citizens. There have been, over the history of our country, in total, more than 600 million of us. It's incredible to think, though, that the country is 250 years old, almost, that more than half of the Americans who have ever lived are alive right now. We are the descendants of the founders, and we are the descendants of the saviors of the Union, and we are the descendants of the leaders of the civil rights movement. We're the descendants of immigrants and the indigenous peoples. We're the only nation in the world made up of all of the world's people, where every language is spoken every day. We are part of the most noble experiment in all the long history of human affairs. And that experiment is perpetual. Can human beings live together under a rule of law, free of tyranny and oppression? Can a free people endure? What the founders understood is that every republic that has ever been has ultimately collapsed. Because in the end, the byproduct of freedom, of liberty, of a republic can be a great apathy and a great corruption. And the question ahead is, have we reached that hour where our republic can fall? The simple truth is, there has never been a safe hour. There has never been a moment where the American Republic was steady and sure-footed and immune from failure. There's always been chaos. There has always been tumult, because the story of America is a human story, and the human condition is a chaotic one. Yet, America's achievements and the achievements of our ancestors are profound, and they obligate us deeply to a commitment of responsibility as stewards and trustees to ensure that 10 generations from now, the words, "all men are created equal," are not a distant memory, but an aspiration of faith, an unshakable one that can never be extinguished. That is the duty of American citizenship.